Yuka, thanks for joining us.
Hi,
Here
John,
in
Emile.
France, it seems like Groundhog Day. Every single couple of months, we are announcing a new prime minister. Emmanuel Macron hoping to do so within the next 24 hours, at least his nomination. And amidst this political chaos, it's naturally got business very much on edge.
Well, the head of business lobby, Medef, warned that in particular, the prospect of a recent pension reform being suspended would eventually chip away at French people's purchasing power. Small businesses are already finding it difficult to plan ahead amid all this political chaos. Luc Trego and our colleagues at France Télévisions have more.
French politics is changing by the day, and that's nothing if not a problem for business, like this contractor who often works in the public sector.
We have quite a few local authorities as clients, so even though it works on hospitals and clinics, things are sure to be disrupted. What's more, there will be municipal election next year, so that will cause even more disruption for our businesses.
With no idea what the future looks like, there's a freeze on new hires. And there's uncertainty too around France's unpopular pension reform. It's meant to raise the retirement age to 64 by 2030, but a U-turn could cost at least €3 billion by 2027, and employers are firmly opposed.
If the price of stability is a considerable burden of putting the country in debt and throwing its growth and purchasing power into doubt just for 2 or 3 months of stability, I say no, this reform should be left alone.
Whichever way the reform's fate goes, ordinary French only want clarity after months of political deadlock.
It's destabilizing. Who are we meant to be dealing with? Will they make decisions or not? What are we going to do tomorrow?
What feels like a succession of prime ministers has been walking in and out of office, and others have different priorities too.
Frankly, retirement is just a huge question mark for me. It's a bit of a blur. So sure, 64 will go down to 63. It'll calm things down a bit, but really, what's the aim? What's the point? Right now, we need something else.
With turnover dropping as people spend less, she just wants people opening their wallets again.
Very interesting to see where the country is headed. Let's go more international right now. Just give an update that oil has settled 1.6% down today off the back of the Gaza ceasefire deal. It closed at $65.22 per barrel. And it's quite interesting for a country like Serbia because right now it's facing petrol shortages, price hikes. The country's main oil supply, in fact, has been hit by very large US sanctions.
Well, it may face shortages down the line because NIS, the main oil supplier in the country, which supplies around 80% of Serbia's diesel and petrol demand, became a target of US sanctions because it's majority owned by Russia. Now, Gazprom and its subsidiary own 56% of it, with the Serbian government having a 30% stake. First announced in January, the measures were postponed multiple times until they finally took effect this Thursday. The immediate impact was a halt in crude deliveries from neighbouring Croatia through a pipeline. Serbian motorists can also no longer pay at the pump with their Visa, Masters or American Express credit cards. President Aleksandar Vučić says that the country has enough reserves to meet demand through the end of the year, but that sanctions would be felt by all Serbs.
Realistically speaking, our refinery can operate without a new oil inflow until November 1st. Maybe, hopefully, until November 5th or 7th. After that, it will be extremely difficult. That's when the problems with deliveries will begin.
And this all comes amidst all of those train strikes, those Novi Sad train strikes against Vučić's regime, which certainly won't be helping business confidence. Let's talk about China. It's taken another step to tighten its grip on the world's rare earth materials.
Well, Beijing's Commerce Ministry announced that a new export controls on rare earths and technologies related to them, citing national security concerns. The metals are crucial for high-tech manufacturing and have been a key source of tension between China and the United States. Here's Brian Quinn with the details.
Tightening the flow of the lifeblood of high-tech manufacturing, China has unveiled new restrictions for rare earth minerals, citing national security concerns. Not only must Chinese exporters get government permission to ship rare earths abroad, the Commerce Ministry says they'll also now need a license to export products that contain them or technologies used for their mining and processing.
Some overseas organizations and individuals have illegally obtained rare earth technology from China for sensitive military and other purposes, causing significant damage or potential threats to China's national security and interests.
The 17 elements known as rare earths are actually commonly found in nature, but rarely in concentrations that make their extraction worthwhile. Often used in robust magnets, they're crucial for the production of modern electronics, from loudspeakers to hard drives, guided missiles, and fighter jets. China currently holds a near monopoly, with 60% of the world's production and 91% of processing. While the rest of the world is trying to catch up, China is still expected to account for more than half of mining and more than 3/4 of refining at the end of the decade. Rare earths have become a key flashpoint in the battle between China and the U.S. for tech dominance amid an ongoing trade war launched by President Donald Trump. While the U.S. has placed export restrictions on key AI chips to China, Beijing has just added more than a dozen foreign firms, most of them American, to its unreliable entity list, restricting their ability to trade with Chinese companies. Analysts say the latest moves are aimed at exerting maximum leverage on Washington ahead of a meeting between Trump and Xi Jinping later this month.
Let's put geopolitics to one side and take a look at the latest in the markets.
Well, Wall Street is in the red despite the ceasefire in the Middle East, as the US government shutdown also continues on, with the S&P and 500 and the Nasdaq retreating from their record highs, as you can see, that were reached on Wednesday. The Dow Jones currently down by about 0.7 of a percentage point. European markets mostly traded weaker as well, giving up some of the previous day's gains. Frankfurt DAX was flat at the close. Now, one big loser among European stocks today was Ferrari. The luxury car maker, traded under the ticker RACE, tumbled 15% in Milan after its revised financial outlook missed expectations. At an investor event on Thursday, the Italian manufacturer unveiled its first electric car, or rather, technology that will power it. The 1,000 horsepower four-seater called Electrica, with a range of 530 kilometers, will be launched next year. The carmaker also said, however, that it was scaling back its electrification plan, now expecting EVs to make up a fifth of its lineup by 2030, down from the previous target of 40%. Let's take a listen to its CEO.
We do Ferrari Electrica for two reasons. Number one, because we want to show that it's possible to harness any technology to delight our client. Two, because we want to widen the possible client that will enjoy this kind of car.
I can kind of understand. I mean, if you have enough money to buy a Ferrari, you would probably want to hear that engine revving up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I would love Benedetto Vigna to rev up with his voice. I think he could be my navigation system. He just has that perfect Ferrari voice. Thank you so much, Yuka Roya, for just outlining where we're at with the day's business. There's more coming up